Actually told the story of what is happening across the nation with respect to flooding. How do you react to that?
Well, inherent as it is, disasters come with life lost and properties, and so is the case. So it's really devastating and disturbing. As regard to reacting, you could see in most of the major disasters, like the case of Bauchi State, Ogun State, and Katsina State, it's not only the Director General Nema that was there, not only with the relief, immediate relief required, the Vice President often join us there to commiserate with the people, to sort of also show the government sympathy, and that is the kind of response this government has been given so far.
Now, yours is emergency management, and could you tell us how you've been managing the situation in terms of reaching out to victims and, of course, bringing about succor to them?
Well, like I said, it comes with displacement where people are rendered homeless, all their basic needs destroyed. We often move quickly, many times under 48 hours. We are there with necessary relief items that range from food items, household items like clothing for the children, for the women, and men as well. Also, subsequently, after assessment, we provide some building materials to help them reconstruct the destroyed houses where possible.
All right, now, do you have the necessary facilities and the adequate manpower to handle the cases all around the nation?
Well, we often get overstretched, as the case now, although we have 6 zonal offices, 9 what we call operational offices across the country, altogether 16, all of them with skilled, trained personnel to respond to disaster that involve search and rescue, relief materials distribution, and other related items. I think that we have over about 800 personnel across the country, and so far it is quite good. We respond, and I cannot deny the fact that yes, sometimes we get overstretched.
All right, now, what do you expect from first responders, when such thing takes place?
Well, the first respondent, let me first clarify, we have 3 classification of disasters. We have the catastrophic disaster, we have the major disaster, and also the minor disaster. Most of these disasters...
How do you classify flooding in Nigeria? What kind of disaster? How do you classify it?
All the kind of disasters fall within these 3 categories. Where you have flooding that occurs at the same time for 3, 4, 5 states, we call it catastrophic. But mostly for one state is usually a major disaster. Like I explained some times ago, yesterday precisely, we have a structure that is supposed to be effective and efficient, having a weak link in between the structure, federal, state, and local emergency management committee, so it makes it a little more difficult to manage because there is a weak link in the area of the state emergency management agency, because they are not well funded, they are not well provided with necessary equipment.
At the state level?
Yes, at the state level. So that is why even a major disaster that's supposed to be taken care of by a state, you find out that NEMA has to respond sometimes with personnel, with equipment and things like that. So that is where the overstretching aspect comes about.
Now, is it possible for you to advocate for volunteers who may not necessarily be working for the state, but they are residing in different states of the country? Is there a possibility that you could bring them in as part of NEMA ad hoc staff, so to speak, in case of emergencies of this nature?
We have what we call NEMA Vanguard in all the states. We are developing it. It's not just strong enough. But all the same, you find out it's going to be federal affair. But by what we have as a policy approved by government, we have a national disaster response plan that stipulated the responsibility of each party. State apparatus are supposed to move in when it is catastrophic. Federal apparatus, federal response supposed to only come in when it is catastrophic. But you found out that even minor disasters that affects a local emergency management committee, NEMA, is called for attention. That is where the overstretched aspect comes about. But we are working hard with the state government to make sure that the situation is improved in the nearest future, whereby the state should be able to take its own responsibility to act effectively, to respond effectively, mitigate disasters within the major element of a disaster. This is what we are working hard on, and we are having a serious cooperation from both the state and our principals at the national level.
Now, synergy between your agency and sister agencies is key to mitigating the effect of such disaster. Is there any such collaboration between you and the other sister agencies?
Synergy has been very effective. We all have what we call a stakeholder forum. We call meetings from time to time. We organize workshops and training for the SEMAs in various fora across the country. We meet with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Water Resources, as a forum, and discuss issues. Sometimes we even mitigate together where possible. We organize, we have what we call a simulation exercise many times, so that before the disaster, all parties within a particular system or rather group, we can respond effectively to disaster. But what is more key is the issue of preparedness. The preparedness aspect requires serious enlightenment, and then culture comes in, mentality of people comes in, and it's difficult to remove. This is some of the challenges we have. Yes.
Now you talked about enlightenment. How have you gone with that? NEMA is supposed to be talking to Nigerians, perhaps after, we might have had the predictions, because see, from 2012, it's become an annual event that we have flouted in different parts of the country. So could that be some kind of enlightenment on the part of NEMA to prepare the people?
When we came in, what we observed, most of the workshops are organized within the stakeholders. We said we must extend it to the people directly. Where we observe is a floodplain area, we move in there, call the people with aspect of movies and or rather films or show and other things to enlighten them to see what disaster could bring if it happens. So people should be enlightened, and also they move out of the disaster front areas or flood front area and similar situations like that. We do it, we have been doing it, and we continue to do it. We only need to also incorporate some technologies in doing that, which we are also trying to co-opt.
Okay, now the Nigerian Medical Association just yesterday, commended NEMA for its activities across the nation. Could you speak to that?
Well, I really, I was very, very happy when I heard that. I heard it over the news. I was so delighted when I saw it. I didn't know somebody is watching us, but obviously when it happened, we are really delighted by that. What I will say is we will invite them, we'll sit with them. We need them seriously, because that's the area that we need serious assistance actually at NEMA, the medical aspect. We need personnel, particularly medical personnel, because most of disaster comes with serious health-related requirements. So we will surely contact them. I already, I'm trying to get across to them.
Now, in one word or two, when such disaster happens, what is expected of the indigents of the area?
Well, first of all, people must appreciate the fact that climate change is a reality. People don't seem to believe that. But with the devastating disasters coming around, we know climate change is a reality. Secondly, if it happens, if there is any flood, people must run to higher ground. They should not try to take along with them their properties,
Yes.
because that could be a burden which will restrict their movement. So this is the first thing they should do. Then the government on ground should also try to organize a place for them where, for example, the Dangote Group is trying to build some structures where people can be moved across the country. They have done it in some of the states, and we are taking over those facilities. This is what we can say about that.
Okay, now let's leave it here, but I'm sure we'll call you back, before the end of the rainy season, because of course we're expecting more rains and more floods across the nation. Thank you very much indeed. I have been speaking with the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Mustafa Mehaja. Thank you once again for coming. Now, next is sports. Nigerian Flying Eagles beat Mauritania on the